I think there's no pressure on this particular Indian team for the simple reason everybody realizes that this team is going through transition, and the fact that everybody is already looking at being patient with them is a big plus for them. So I think that's the big plus for this current Indian side. Under a new captain, under a new vice captain, with a lot of slots up for grabs, is a situation where everybody realizes that there'll be a bit of pressure on them, but at the same time, it's a big opportunity for a lot of youngsters and also for people like Karun Nair to try and cement their place, because if they end up performing in a key series like this, it'll stand them in good stead. He's come a long way since we spent some time in England when he was a part of the under 19 side. And what he's done well is to try and identify the areas he needs to improve, and he's done that. Even starting with uh, conversing in English, he's made leaps and bounds in terms of improving the areas that he needed to. And as far as Gill is concerned, I think he is aware of the fact that he will not be just a stopgap option. He knows that the selectors will back him for a while. So that should give him a lot of confidence, even as a batter, because if he was not the captain, maybe he might be feeling a little bit insecure. He might think that the axe is uh, definitely hanging above his head. But now that he's made the captain, I think he doesn't need to even have those kind of thoughts, which will obviously help him to get runs. But as far as the technical part of things are concerned, he needs to try and wait for the ball to come on to him rather than look to try and play on the up as he does normally on these tracks here in the subcontinent, and of course and all these tracks that he's used to batting leading up to this series in the IPL. KL Rahul will obviously need to step it up because he's the most experienced of the lot, and he's also been around for a long time. He's got the temperament, and he's performed well in all the three formats for India in the past. So there will be a lot of expectations as far as KL Rahul is concerned. It is going to be very interesting as to where he is likely to be slotted right through the series, because we've seen KL Rahul going up and down the order in almost just about every format, and the beauty of it is that he keeps getting runs as well. But I think they need to try and have a very clear idea who's going to be batting where right through the series, because in a fighter series you will have the opportunity of sussing things out and also trying to zoom in on the best possible combination that you could play for the later half of the series where things really hot up. He's got to back himself and tell himself that he's played some out of this world innings in Test cricket to win matches for India, to perhaps possibly even secure a draw for India abroad. So that is what he must bank on. And these things obviously will come into play when you're on a tough tour. The things that X, Y is done in the past, that's where they'll draw the inspiration from. And it's all a matter of Gill having, no, sorry, it's a matter of Rishabh Pant having a couple of good hours in the first test, and the entire landscape will change. I wonder if he'll be playing in the first place, at least in the first two test matches, because the batting order that I have in my mind does not feature him. But the team management may think otherwise. They may even thrust him up the order. They'll perhaps give him the chances because he's in good nick and he's also shown good temperament. But as far as he's concerned, he's a guy who's had a feel of the English conditions by way of playing in the English county seasons in the past. And he's got a good temperament, and he's one who's a quick learner. And I'm sure that if he gets a string of opportunities, he'll definitely perform as he's done in the past in every particular level that he's played so far. Yes, that's a very key factor for India, Bumrah's availability. And if it's fairly certain that he's not going to play more than three test matches, it becomes relatively easier because you know that you will not have him in two test matches. And if it's a case of the team management getting that choice, then that obviously figure it out before the series starts, and that's where the key will be. And as far as utilizing him on the field is concerned, I think they cannot overbowl him. They'll have to perhaps look at obviously a very aggressive option, the wicket taking option, the lead wicket taking option by that, and perhaps not make him bowl more than 15, if at all, if it comes to that. I would rather even stick to around 12 overs a day. I, for one, would pick Ashdeep without any second thoughts. And I think Siraj will obviously be number three. And then I would also have Prasidh Krishna in the mix if Bumrah is not there. But even if Bumrah is there, I would seriously look at playing four seamers, especially at Leeds, because there will be a lot of swing and seam. Headingley is always a venue where the bowlers have thrived. That being the case, I would rather play four seamers there. And if you need to try and obviously rest Bumrah, then after that, if you need four seamers, you obviously have to bring in Shardul into the mix. Otherwise, I think after Bumrah, my choices would be Arshdeep, Siraj, and Prasidh Krishna. See, let's not take the other seamers lightly because they have played all their cricket under those conditions. They know what to do. They may not have really picked up a lot of wickets in international cricket or in Test cricket, but they know what it takes to pick up wickets in English conditions. And let's not underestimate Chris Oakes. He's a good bowler. Overton can be good as well on his day. And we also have Karsey, who is also a handful when the conditions are right. So if the conditions are right and if the English batters put enough runs on the board, I think they do have the wherewithal to challenge the Indian batters. And let's not forget that the Indian batting is also not really very solid. Yes, there's a lot of talent, but it remains to be seen how they handle tougher conditions. And that is something that will give even the current England bowling attack a lot of encouragement. And to back all these fast bowlers, you always have the skipper, Ben Stokes, who has the knack of picking up wickets at the right time. And that's another thing they'll be banking on.